Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Um, I am in the process of making dinner, and I got a frying pan heating up, and I'm about to show you how to make Masa harina cornbread. It's a flatbread, it's an unleavened bread. And what you do first is you get a bag of this stuff. This is Masa. This is the brand that I get because it's I guess because it's the cheapest one. You can get it at Walmart. It's like $3 for enough to last you, like a month. It's really cheap. And I already did this before I started the video. I didn't think to start the video until after I already made it. But you get a half cup of the masa, drop it in a bowl, add some water and salt, just a little bit of salt, just a pinch, and you mix it up until you get a nice doughy consistency. And you gotta have clean hands to do this, by the way. Wash your hands good before you embark on this adventure. And you just get like a ball of it, like a fist size, and drop it on a piece of parchment paper that you have cut sitting on your flat top stove or on your countertop. You just drop it on there. Grab another piece of parchment paper, just a little cut piece, lay it on top. And then you grab something flat, like a cutting board, and just lay it on top of the ball of dough you got there, and just kind of press it down flat, evenly on all sides. And voila, you get a perfect little circle, like a little disc. It's probably 3/8 to a ½ inch thick. And since this frying pan is nice and hot now, it's just a dry stainless steel pan. No oil is used. You take your little tortilla bread thing. I guess it's a bread, it's a flat bread, and you lay it on there. Some people like to make thin tortillas, roll them up and make stuff, but I actually prefer the flat bread. I like the consistency of the thicker bread. It gets nice and kind of like, baked and crispy on the outside, and it's nice and warm and just, I guess, kind of tender on the inside, just like, a loaf of bread is when it's fresh out the oven. Except this is super easy to make, super quick. And then usually for a half cup, that's enough for one person. That makes two, big pieces of flatbread. Just drop it down, parchment paper, cutting board, set it on there, and just press down. Bam. It's too easy. And then I've got some black bean soup that I made the other night that I'm going to heat up. And black beans and corn go really well together. Corn goes really good with most beans. And I'm just going to microwave this because I'm too lazy to use a saucepan. And I also like to slice up some tomatoes and put that on top of the beans. That's good. Sprinkle some oregano on there, and I just eat it like that. I also put some kale and some vegetables in my beans every time I make them because I don't eat too many vegetables otherwise. I got to put them in my beans and my soups. Alright, that's it. And I guess I'll show you this when it's done. Let's go ahead and let it cook for a minute here. And it's still sticking to the pan. That means it's still cooking. Once it's ready to flip, it'll be, it'll loosely slide around in the pan when it's kind of like pancakes. It's exactly what it's like. It's like pancakes. Except it's like a healthy version of pancakes. Come on. Yeah, I usually set the heat right on medium. On my oven, I have low through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and high. I put it right between the 4 and the 5, right at the medium point. And when that fully heats up, it seems to cook them pretty well. I guess while we're waiting on that, let me introduce you to my juice bar section of the kitchen. I got 2 Omega blenders sitting here. 2 Omega blender bases. The one on the left is the B2500. That has the timer and the variable speed, and then an on-off switch. B2400. This has the pulse, on-off, and variable speed. And I use them both for different things interchangeably. If I'm going to go off into the other room and do something, I'll just use the timer one. If I want to blend up some flax seeds or something. And if I just want a quick, smoothie, I'll just use the pulse one, the one on the right, the 2400. Okay, this is just about done. It's starting to fall off the pan. That means it's that side's just about done. There we go. Nice and piping hot, and it's got that nice little crust forming on it. And I'm just gonna drop it down and let the other side cook. And let me go and start the beans. Let me go and be back in just a second. Okay, first one is just about done. Yeah, there it is. Bam. Perfection. Number two, bam, same thing. Let it cook. Let it cook. The beans are not quite done yet. Give them another minute and a half. Alright, these are really tasty. They're really tasty and they're really filling and they're really cheap. This is one of those staples that that I guess a lot of indigenous people use. The Masa harina is special, I guess, in the sense that it's slaked in lime to get to soften up the corn kernels and get the husks off, the part that you don't need anyway, the part that you can't digest. So it's still pretty much a whole grain as far as I know, just the husk is removed, and then it's the lime is strained off and it's ground into a powder. And since it is slaked in lime, it's relatively high in calcium because lime is made of calcium. And it also the process of slaking the corn and lime, it also frees up the niacin in corn, which makes it much more digestible. So it's pretty nutritious stuff, and I imagine it's still considered a whole grain. I know the husks are removed, but I think it's still everything else is intact. As far as I know, I think the germ might be destroyed when in the lime soaking process, but I don't know if that really hurts it. I mean, nutritionally, I'm not sure on that. That's something I'd have to look into. But it's delicious. I've been eating these for a couple years now, trying to kind of simplify my diet as much as possible. So I'm kind of living on a staple of things like cornmeal, or masa, harina, corn flour, and oats, 100% whole wheat pastas. Just cereal grains are pretty much my staples these days. I guess you could say I eat kind of a McDougall style starch-based diet. This guy. The second one usually takes less time to cook because the pan's hotter. This one is not quite done yet, but these beans are ready. And I just finished my last heirloom tomato today, so I'm just going to sprinkle on some oregano to these beans. Oregano. I like a little ground pepper as well. Give it a little kick. And I love tomatoes with black beans, but unfortunately I don't have any. So I'm going to have to get at the store tomorrow. Dinner is just about served. As soon as this guy finishes cooking. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and clean up my parchment paper. Put that over there, let it dry out a little bit before I put it up. And I reuse the same ones for probably a month or so, probably longer than I should. Again, just trying to be cheap and uses the least amount of stuff as I need. They work fine. Just keep the bugs off of them. Keep them in a place where the bugs won't get on there and start eating the residue. And I don't want to feed the bugs any more than I have to. Okay, that's ready. This guy's ready. Come on, number 2, cook. It's starting to feel like it's just about down the edges. Ah! Not quite done yet. Got a stash of bananas ripening. They should be ready probably tomorrow. Have some banana and strawberry, blueberry smoothies. Got a bunch of frozen organic blueberries from Costco a couple weeks ago. They're on sale. Stocked up. This thing does not want to finish cooking. Alright, I'm losing patience with this one, so I'm just going to get the steel spatula and just kind of scrape it, because usually it's done faster than that. Oh, it's just about done anyway. Just a little sticky in the middle. Okay, put that away. And let's see if you can see that. It's a beauty. Beauty. Oh, and these are so good. Let me go and take a bite of this one, just to kind of try to let you share the experience here. Break it open when they're fresh. You see all that steam coming off? That's a beautiful thing. This one's been sitting for a couple minutes, so it's not quite as tender as it usually is. It's starting to toughen up a little bit, but that's good. Very good. Very satiating. Bread. Staff of life. And usually what I do is when I get to the end of this thing, of the beans, I just use this as like a bread, and I just kind of, you know, get around the edges, get all the leftover juice up, and just kind of, or you can just, you know, use it like a dip. Oh yeah, good stuff. Masa harina flatbread. Cornbread. That's all it is. It's cornbread made easy, without all the unnecessary ingredients like the eggs and all that stuff. Who needs eggs and stuff in their bread? You don't need to make your bread, you know, puffy and all that, just to make it look bigger than it. I don't know. What's the point of leavening your bread? Eat it the old-fashioned way. That's what I say. See, I was tossing around. It lets you know it's just about ready already. Second side doesn't take as long. And when you get some experience like I have, you can just kind of show off and just flip it. You don't even need to use your hand anymore. You can just flip it. Do it all in the pan. And this guy's ready. Bam. Dinner is served. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later.